AITA for not allowing my son to go to his school dance? Originally posted by UMDR739 in r Am I the Asshole on April 5, 23. Updated on April 6, 23. An NBSP. Trigger warning. Racism. Favoritism. Less than. An NBSP. Original April 5, 23. An NBSP. AITA for not allowing my son to go to his school dance? My husband, 51M, and I, 48F, have 6 children, 19M, 16F, 14F, 13M, 11M, plus 5F, are 16Y. Gianna is a junior in high school. Our son Riker, 13, is in 7th grade. The kids are starting to have their school dances. The 7th grade dance is later this month and the junior banquet is in early May. We have gone shopping for dress clothes for all the dances. We bought Gianna's dress a few weeks ago. Gianna has usually been a good kid throughout her life. This school year has been slightly harder than others though. Around 2 months ago, we got a call from Gianna's choir teacher saying that Gianna and a few other altos were making racist jokes about some of the new pieces she introduced, including an Urdu song and a song from Honduras. We talked to Gianna about her actions and we made her write an apology to her teacher as well as write a 5-paragraph essay on why it is important to respect music from other cultures. Riker has a friend from his baseball team who is Honduran. He was born here but his mom was born in Honduras and his dad is mixed. When Riker heard out about this he was quite mad and asked if he could have his friend come over and teach her about the culture there. We allowed this and he came over with his parents and they made food and Riker and his friend talked about sports and music there. Gianna was very clearly not enjoying it but we made her engage anyways. Our daughter and a group of her friends, including her boyfriend, got in trouble last week for making racist jokes again. We took her phone to investigate to see where this hatred could be coming from. Riker had his friends over for a sleepover the night we found out about this. During dinner the boys were talking about how their coach would never let them live though it if they bullied a kid or made racist jokes. My husband and I tried helping guide them through their feelings, like asking them about the diverse athletes they liked. Gianna was hanging out with friends at the mall that night, some of whom were doing dress shopping for the upcoming dance. Our son and the boys decided to use this as an opportunity to trash the dress, using mud, drinks and cutting a few holes in the dress. We found out when Gianna came home, entered her room and saw the dress. The boys were laughing and Riker said they did it because Gianna didn't deserve to go to the banquet, and saying how there could be kids that look like his Honduran friend. We told Riker we were trying our best to educate her in a very white town. We're also white. We told him that this was the wrong way to take out his anger and that as a result, he couldn't go to his 7th grade dance. Riker told us to shut up and spent the rest of his night in his room with the boys. Riker texted my parents and siblings as well as my in-laws. A few have called us and came to his defense, saying he's just a kid who was trying to cope with anger. Now we're unsure if we are in the wrong. AITA? An NBSP. In the comments, Riker is very naturally smart and talented. He gets all A's in school. He cares about sports more than anything else in life though. I know the other kids tend to get jealous of him because everything has come natural to him. So we try to make sure to encourage their interests so they don't get discouraged. Why is his behavior worse than your daughter's bigotry? That is exactly the message you're sending. We have realized after reading the responses to this that we are sending this message to them and that was not our intent at all. Riker is just normally a good kid who occasionally pushes limits. Gianna has been worse historically and all we wanted to do was not push her further down the racism rabbit hole by being too harsh on her. We also thought a 7th grade dance isn't as important as a junior banquet or senior prom, but now I realize that was probably wrong. You are also treating the maturity and emotional capacity of a 13-year-old to a 16-year-old the same. The 16-year-old is getting treated with kid gloves, while the 13-year-old gets the hammer dropped. Riker can certainly be immature, but he also has more natural intelligence than Gianna. Gianna has never gotten as high of a GPA as him despite her studying and him playing sports instead of studying. Is it wrong to use intelligence in this case to determine YTA? Why is that with Gianna? Every punishment, even as a repeat offender, was actually an opportunity to learn, but the moment Riker slips up he gets an actual punishment? Even if you didn't intend it. This looks exactly like favoritism. We are trying to grasp with this now. We don't want favoritism. I guess we are just harsher on Riker because he's so smart. But the past 12 hours have really made me reflect on a lot. Judgment. Asshole. An NBSP. Update April 6, 23. An NBSP. Update. Hello. I first want to thank everyone for the advice. Yesterday was insane processing just how many comments I got and also talking to family including my siblings, parents and in-laws about where to go from here. I get it. My husband and I were in the wrong. We first talked to Riker. He told us how mad he was at Gianna. He told us about how some girls in his middle school have been racist towards his friends, so he wanted to protect him. He told us him and his friends made the plot together BC they felt like she could hurt someone if she didn't face backlash. We asked him if he regretted his decision purely to see his mood. He immediately said no. We did go over anger management though. We then talked to Gianna and things went much worse than we expected. She defended herself and used much worse language than what she got in trouble at school for. She used slurs and called Riker a crybaby. My family and my husband's family all live close to us. We decided to have dinner with my siblings, parents and in-laws. We asked for advice, discussed everything, and had them question Gianna and Riker some more. Again, Gianna expressed much worse sentiments than we could have ever imagined. Riker was more put together and went into depth about his feelings. After our families had left, my husband and I went in our bedroom to discuss what punishments would be. We first spoke to Riker. We told him he could go to the dance and then discussed the money with him. We decided to not make him pay for financial damages to us, but we asked him how he felt if he bought something with his hard-earned money from gold caddying. He eventually said he understood our initial anger after that thought experiment. Off the recommendations of my brother, we also suggested looking into how he could channel his desire for social justice into sports. The most important thing in Riker's life besides his friends. We then talked to Gianna. We told her she would not be attending the junior banquet and told her she would have to read and write a report on 2 books from a list of books on racism. Some commentators have made recommendations and we will look into them. She has also lost all of her devices except her school Chromebook until further notice. We also apologized to Riker for holding him to higher standards simply because he's the high achiever of the family. He also mentioned the fact we don't give him enough attention because of that. We are looking into different therapies such as family therapy or individual therapy for Gianna, possibly Riker and even our other kids. An NBSP. Flaring this concluded as the original problem about punishments and going to the dance has been resolved. Reminder: do not comment on the original posts or contact the original poster. I am not the original poster. This is a repost. I think the same thing now that I thought when I first read these posts. Riker is smarter and more responsible than his parents, and they largely ignore him for it. It seems like there's a deeper vein of entitlement and bad behavior from the kids here that needs to be addressed. I'd be a lot less concerned with what is appropriate punishment and a lot more concerned with why they're acting like this. No way either is isolated. In a very white town, we're also white. We already knew that. You named a kid Riker. You accidentally pasted it in twice, just a heads up. He's supposed to channel his love of social justice into sports? How does that work? I would hesitate to call this anywhere close to concluded. Honestly, a mess from the start. They've got 6 kids? One is turning into a racist, but they can't find the source, so they're just enabling it, hoping that they don't push her away by checks notes parenting? These people who have made the decision to do that 6 times. I think they should get a lot more practice in if they expect to be repeating the process of parenting teenagers 6 times over. As a person of color and DE professional, these parents are performative as hell. Also, their comments about intelligence gave me the ick. We need to stop correlating intelligence and social justice. Smart people can be racist and evil too. If a missed dance and a book report are the final punishment, that girl's going to learn nothing. Oop, messed up not 1, but 4 times with the 2 initial punishments. The failure to truly understand the gravity of the situation and the laxness of how they're treating their daughter being a complete racist. My husband and I tried helping guide them through their feelings, like asking them about the diverse athletes they liked. This really rubbed me the wrong way, and shows that these parents have so much work to do before they understand anything about how racism works and their part in upholding it. These kids are justifiably angry about something incredibly painful and horrible, and the parents think guiding is the same as distracting with something that focuses on the most shallow and optimistic ideas of diversity while totally ignoring and not engaging the ugliness that is happening. I'm so curious about the 19Y. Oh, are they well adjusted? Racist? Still call home ever? These people are the epitome of, in this house, white liberals. Our daughter is being racist, so we're going to have her write a book report on an Ibram Kendi book. That'll solve it. What the hell will making her write a book report even do? Also, how will the 13-year-old channel his desire for social justice into sports? I don't get it. I find it especially disgusting that they leveraged Riker's non-white friend at dinner as a learning opportunity for Gianna, inviting them for your daughter's edification because you failed to teach her to not be a flaming asshole is unbelievable. It's not their responsibility to be the voice of their culture or race, let alone for someone as blatantly and unapologetically racist as she is. Something with their parenting style doesn't seem right here. Start by taking this kid down to the nearest Holocaust museum. If they think they're old enough to be racist, they're old enough to know how blistering evil this world can be. Many of our evils are seated in racism and other isms. People who have that many children and then go full Pikachu face when they discover they didn't know their kids as well as they thought they did astound me. I wonder if Gianna knows what her parents think of her level of intelligence, because the number of times mom points out she's not that bright is pretty hurtful. Do parents actually use write a book report or write an essay as punishment? I would probably just laugh at my mom if she suggested that. Not doubting the story, just think it's so unusual. Edit. I'm not in the US, Canada or Europe. There's something else going on here. These kids didn't learn this BS out of thin air. I want more info on where Gianna's aggressive racism comes from. She openly stated beliefs that were more prejudiced than what she'd already gotten in trouble for. The only one holding the racist girl accountable is the 13-year-old boy. Good for him for standing up in the face of racism in his own family. Why do they need to consult every single family member when punishing their kids?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.